Ruby Ridge, the standoff that shook America, one family, one remote cabin, and an 11-day standoff with federal agents that left 3 people dead and changed how America viewed its government forever. Done in the late 1980s, Randy Weaver, a former U.S. Army engineer, moved with his wife Vicki and their children to a remote cabin on Ruby Ridge in northern Idaho. Weaver distrusted the government. He wanted to live off the grid, away from modern society. But his beliefs and his isolation would soon put him on a collision course with federal law enforcement. Out in 1989, Randy Weaver was accused of selling 2 illegal, sawed-off shotguns to an undercover informant working for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Prosecutors charged him with federal firearms violations. Weaver was supposed to appear in court in 1991, but due to conflicting dates and miscommunication, he missed his hearing. That failure to appear escalated his situation. Suddenly, he was considered a fugitive. By August 1992, federal marshals had been monitoring the Weavers for months. On August 21st, a team of U.S. Marshals scouted the property. A confrontation broke out in the woods near the cabin. Gunfire erupted. Deputy U.S. Marshal William Deegan was shot and killed. So was Weaver's 14-year-old son, Sammy, along with the family's dog, Stryker. The incident set off an 11-day siege that would grip the nation. After the firefight, the FBI's hostage rescue team took control. They were authorized under controversial rules of engagement. Any armed adult male seen outside the cabin could be shot on sight. On August 22nd, as Randy and a friend named Kevin Harris moved around the cabin, FBI sniper Lon Horiuchi fired. Randy was wounded, but the second shot struck and killed Vicki Weaver as she stood inside the doorway holding her infant daughter. Her death became the most infamous moment of Ruby Ridge. For days, negotiators tried to convince Weaver to surrender. Tensions were sky-high and the cabin remained surrounded. Finally, with the help of civilian negotiator and former Green Beret Bo Gritz, Randy Weaver agreed to walk out. On August 31st, 1992, the standoff ended peacefully. In total, 3 people were dead: Deputy Marshal Deegan, Sammy Weaver, and Vicki Weaver. The trial that followed became a national spectacle. Randy Weaver was acquitted of the most serious charges, including murder and conspiracy. He was convicted only of failing to appear in court and violating bail conditions, serving 18 months in prison, most of which he had already done. Later, the Weaver family filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The U.S. government eventually paid them $3.1 million in a settlement. Ruby Ridge became a rallying cry for anti-government groups and fueled distrust of federal agencies. It was also one of the key events that inspired the Oklahoma City bombing 3 years later. Ruby Ridge wasn't just a family tragedy. It was a turning point in America, one that raised deep questions about government power, law enforcement rules of engagement, and the fragile line between freedom and authority. So what do you think? Was Ruby Ridge an avoidable tragedy caused by government overreach or the consequence of one man's defiance of the law? Let me know in the comments.